All right, welcome to the scenario Lou Rawls Parade of All Stars edition of the scenario. This Matt, this is gonna be I don't think a podcast network has ever done what we're doing tonight.
See, I feel like I need to talk like Lou Rawls a little bit to bring it into this thing because we got a really special evening put together here for everybody who took a look at the malice at the Oscars last night. So hey, but no, in all seriousness, man, the world is buzzing right now. And no, we never tried to do this before, but in reaction to the Will Smith,
And keep in mind, we're
Chris
both
Rock,
moving people. We're both moving, trying to pack. We
yeah,
just said we said we got to get this done. It don't matter.
it's a box to my immediate right, man. But in reaction to the Will Smith Chris Rock situation last night, I said it's an emergency, man. I said, and it's not going to just do for one show. It's not going to do just for two shows. I said, no, we got to get the Avengers together. So for the first time ever, you getting a full SOLC telethon. We're bringing in many of the programs from the SOLC network going to be joining on here tonight. You kicking off here up front. I'm Matt. That's Daryl. We the scenario. Getting back together, doing what we do. You also getting Mike Checker. You also getting sports scenario. You getting everything that comes with the duo. But in a second, we're gonna throw.
We're gonna talk about all kind of stuff. But so people, it's gonna be a longer show. Just let y'all know ahead of time. But we'll have it timestamped for all the different shows and where they are slotted on the evening. I said it sounds like we're on the evening, like we standing up there hosting this for the evening.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be. There might be wardrobe changes. There might be all sorts of things that happen while this is going on. But so we're gonna kick things off here, get into things. In a second, we're gonna bring commentary in. We're gonna get what the trio of them got to say with it. Then we're gonna kick it over to We Coming For You. We got a whole nother section there. Then we're gonna go over to I Only Love 90s Music. I only listen to 90s music. Yeah. I'm sorry. And then we might have a couple of special guests that come in and show some love. And love is on my mind already. We might have a couple guests that come in and show some love. And then we also gonna kick it over to the good brothers at the very end of it, just kicking it. So
just post it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, what's hilarious is Matt sounded like the dude. Like we got special guests. Make sure you keep on donating to the UNC United Negro College Fund.
I sounded like Liza Minnelli at the end of the Oscars last night. Like there's a lot of crazy stuff that was happening on there. Too many names to keep up with. We got too many shows. I was trying to see if we're gonna bring on politics as usual, if we're gonna do.
Look, we just gonna pull people in. We just here.
Yeah, we out here, man. So, but yeah, you start off with us, man. So, to me, as I was watching this, I wasn't watching the Oscars. First of all, I don't even. It's too hard to even keep up with where those movies come from in the first place. But it's but I hadn't seen. I don't think I saw any of the movies that were up for Best Picture, which is rare. I don't think that hasn't happened in many years for me. But when my phone started heating up. I started getting a lot of clips getting sent over to me, and there's a lot of things that was going on, and it was just like Will Smith just slapped Chris Rock, Japanese cut. I'm like, Japanese cut.
Oh, so you got the unedited the first time?
Yes, I saw it, and I saw the full go. Like,
okay. See, I got it parceled out.
So yeah, there's been a lot to it, and like obviously everybody knows what goes on. What we're here to do is set the table with just our reactions. We're gonna do it OG scenario style though. So what we're gonna do is that we immediately went to where does this fit into the pantheon of live OC entertainment moments that we've ever seen, and I gotta say, man, it's up there. It's up there. Because it was like the last time I got something that came across my phone like that, and I just had to stop and see what it popped off. It was when Obama went over there and got Bin Laden. It felt like that all over again.
It was. This is a moment. Like this is beyond a moment. And I didn't believe. I thought it was a prank when somebody sent me, and I just clicked it, and it was like a little quick flash, and I was like, man, that ain't real. They must have got some movie coming out together or something. Or like they promoting one of those gags that they do during the Oscars. And
I was waiting to see Ashton Kutcher come out the way that went down.
And then I saw people, more and more people were texting to me like, yo, y'all gonna talk about this? I'm like, okay, let me see. They's like, so then Sleepy and then were like, dude, it's a longer clip. Will is wilding. And I was like, oh, this is real.
Yeah. So it's led to it's led to quite a let's say quite a reaction in the larger universe today. And it unintentionally kicked off what felt like a no holds barred battle royal of takes from a lot of different people. This thing touched every section, demographic, age group, the whole thing. So, you know, like when we look at it and when we tried to fit into exactly what this meant as far as for the live OC reactions of all time, we narrowed it down to 5 other events that we had to put this up against for.
And if you still can vote on our Twitter page on this, if you want to go to straight OLC, you can still vote, and on the YouTube page, you can still vote.
You could go to the Scenario Sports and Culture page, like it's everywhere.
And then if you get in the group, yep.
But yeah, if you're in the group, if you're not, sign up. You know what I'm saying? We have a good conversation in there every day. But so we selected a couple of things here, and we'll kind of go through the why and the what, and then right before we wrap up our part here, we'll give what we voted for as far as where this goes in. I want us to actually sort them out and rank them though. So the finalists, you know, they gave out Best Picture last night. We giving out most OC live moment of all time on TV. Now, granted, we're not counting like political disasters and like, you know, the Challenger explosion and stuff like that. That's too real right there. But things where maybe there was some you know, there was some seriousness to it, but at the end of the day, it kind of came and went. So the moments that we put forward, and this is one you led off with, we're going to go the furthest back and work our way forward. The 95 Source Awards.
Yes. I mean, the 95 Source Awards had all the potential to be what this Oscars we didn't know it was going to be. Mm-hmm. Snoop Dogg gets on stage because the crowd is booing them. Y'all don't have no love for Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. Also, you have Suge Knight saying, if you don't want nobody dancing all up in your videos, all up in your situation, come to death row. You also have DJ Quick doing his song Dollars Don't Make Sense right in front of MCA, and does the line and looks at him and grabs his penis and says, you left the G out because the G ain't in you. And looks right at him.
The disrespect from the 95 Source Awards still is a highlight. That's really
then you got Outkast getting booed and them saying the South got something to say.
And they was right.
Yeah. We just didn't know.
Right. The South's still saying it a lot of years later. So so that's one of the moments that we put out there. The next
one more moment in there too. Wu-Tang Clan almost got into a fight during that night that people don't know about unless you like research to find out in the background. And the Wu-Tang Clan was 40 deep.
Yeah,
Onyx said they were scared. Sticky and Fragile said they were scared. They were like, yeah, we want to back on out. They was like, man, we backed on out. We didn't go back in.
Easily one of the most OC moments of all time. The next one is Kanye West and Taylor Swift at the VMAs when Kanye did one of his early forays into OC-ness.
We just didn't know what we was getting into before that. Like we didn't know.
As he jumped on stage, took the mic from Taylor Swift, said Beyonce's video was better while she was accepting an award for the best video of the year or something like that, and that's how he felt. And I rewatched that earlier today with the cast of Twilight was in the background, so that's like that's really
who was in the background, was cast of Twilight.
Yeah, it was a real whole weird clip to look at now. Like I think you got Batman back there, like it's all sorts of stuff going on. But all right, so the next one we got is the OJ chase during the NBA Finals. I guess that technically should have went before the 95 Source Awards. But the OJ chase
95 was a crazy year, huh?
Yeah, that was spring 95, huh? Wasn't it? Was that 94 or 95?
The OJ chase is it was the Knicks and the Rockets. So that's what, 94 then?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because they played the Magic next year.
Yes, because 95 they played the Magic.
Yeah.
Because 96 is the OJ trial. Because 96 is the OJ trial. 95, 96 the OJ trial.
At any rate, I remember that, and it's still crazy as hell to watch that footage with AC Collins heading down that highway, and then Hakeem and Patrick Ewing playing on the other side of the screen. Like that, to this day, that's still one of the craziest things.
And then them replacing the OJ trial, like, get it, we just go in there full cover. We won't give you full screen. We don't even care about Patrick Ewing and Elijah Wan.
I'm still amazed by that chase because like they didn't shoot them tires out of nothing. Like that really lets you know that OJ was operating in a time where they still was feeling a little bit of heat from the Rodney King situation, so they didn't want to put that on Juice.
And how much they still really liked the Juice.
Oh, that was definitely because the Juice was deep in the community. Any other brother? What other running back could that have been? If that was Franco Harris, Franco Harris getting them tires shot out.
No, Franco Harris is dead. We'd be like, man, Franco Harris was a dope running back, man, until that Bronco chase.
I think the only other brother alive that played football at that time that could have lived was Walter Payton. Walter Payton would have made it.
Sweetness, yeah, because did we know that Sweetness had cancer at that point?
I don't know. He might have been gone by then. I don't know. But also knowing what we know now, Herschel Walker would have made it as well. But that's a topic for a different time right there. All right, the next moment that we put up is the Tyson Holyfield ear bite situation,
that's one of the biggest, craziest moments.
That was the moment when Mike Tyson became Mike Tyson version 3.
He was already infamous. I don't know what a word above infamous is. Like, is there
that's when the Tyson Zone was created at that point. The Tyson Zone is just above infamy. So like you got notoriety, you got notorious. You got famous, notoriety, notorious, infamy, the Tyson Zone. The Tyson Zone is the peak level of OC that very few people have reached.
And is that when Tyson started? Did Tyson start becoming like reinventing himself? Was after that, or did
second time he reinvented himself? Because remember the nation of Islam and all of that was before then.
Because he said he was gonna eat somebody's babies, right?
Yeah, like on the low, Mike Tyson has had more identities than like the Undertaker. Like it's the same guy, but he's just like a different dude all the way through. We're gonna ask Ray and Rodney about that.
That's a good one.
And then finally, the last moment that we put forward for consideration here was the Malice at the Palace, which was still one of the most unbelievable things I ever heard in my life. And I think it's aided by the fact that it happened at a time where you couldn't just see how crazy it was going down instantly. Like the way that this Will Smith thing spread like wildfire, the Malice at the Palace, you kind of had to talk to some people and verify that what was happening was a real thing. Like text messaging, you still had to hit every button on the phone back then to get a conversation going on. It took me a long ass time to figure out what had happened at the Malice at the Palace.
And also, they didn't show the full thing after that. It was like now social media would have had a tape of the whole incident. Remember, it
would have been on NBA TV now.
Yeah.
Every game is on TV. It would have been on NBA Ticket if it wasn't on like a real station. But here's the thing to remember about that is that the Pacers and the Pistons were like the two top teams in basketball. It would be like if the Nets and the Sixers got into a fight like that now, as far as the amount of fame on each team.
And then the almost tragic events of people almost getting like knocked out to death within that night, where people was missing punches and people sliding, missing.
If there's any sport you don't want a wild fight to break in, it's a basketball game, because them cats throwing arms the size of doors as long as they swing, and they probably knocking out 10 cats. But it's a whole lot of men that got made that night. Whole lot of guys. That was just the worst possible teams that could be playing against each other in that type of situation. But the Malice at the Palace was just stunning. I mean, it's still to this day, it's still something you look at, you just like, what the hell? How the hell does that even happen? Like,
I don't even know how you do it. Like, I mean, there's no like, and it's right before social media too. So it's like, like you said, you're getting it telephone style, literally. Like, hey man, you see what happened? Some people may not even got to it to the next day in the afternoon.
Yeah, they like, man, Jermaine O'Neal and Ron Artest was in the stands knocking cats out. Like, what? What happened?
He got a beer poured on him. Somebody poured how do you pour a beer on a player?
Oh, they in the stands. Like, they really in there rumbling. It's still amazing that nobody got locked up that night.
They did. Didn't they try to press charges against them?
They tried, and Jermaine O'Neal said, I ain't going nowhere, and walked in the locker room.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the great moments in Black Defiance as well, right there.
And Ron Artest also saying, hey, y'all think we gonna get in trouble?
All right, man, we got a couple minutes before we get into the first cameo of the evening, man. So real quick, man, give me your I know you got a position on this. I got a position on it. tell me where you at with this, man. A day later, not even 24 hours later, but about how things are setting for you.
Both can be right and wrong at the same time. And like there's not a, like I put up, there's not villains and enemies. Like it could literally just be that both of y'all were right and wrong in what y'all did.
So break that down. Break down that approach.
So I get what Will did defending his lady, and I get the right for Chris Rock to say those jokes, but also get Will being totally out of bounds and embarrassing himself by going up there, and also Chris Rock taking it too far with the jokes potential. Those all can be live in the same space. Now, I do think that Will Smith has more culpability, but also he got to go home with that woman. So that's the whole key of it all. So that's what I say. I can get it from everybody's stance of it. People also looking at why Chris Rock didn't chase him down and make it a full-on, Boondocks nigga moment. Like, no, he did.
Hey, this is one of those moments where we need Boondocks, though.
Oh my God. And they decided not to bring it back on HBO Max.
I know.
I'm like,
this is one of those moments where the Boondocks would serve the culture like nothing else. Like that's the perfect medium for this. Because what's gonna happen is Saturday Night Live will get it, it'll be mid. There's no other real variety shows like that that's gonna touch it. They'll talk about it, Trevor Noah and stuff like that. They'll get into it, but it's wild. Now, here's my thing. I'll give my take. I got a lot to say about the different positions. I think we'll get into that as we have conversations with folks. But the thing for me that I loved is the picture of all the reactions in the crowd while it's happening. So somebody broke down and had like 24 different reactions on a grid of like all these different celebrities that was looking at it like, hold up. And I love how when they put the black people in there, they like, oh no, we know what this is. The barbecue just went bad. And then most of the white celebrities are looking like, what happened? But The Rock is looking like, oh man, I guess I'm back working for Vince again. Because I've seen this before. This is how it works. You got Denzel that got into the mix. Like, here's the thing. This is one thing I'm gonna say. This is when people were at first were debating if this was a real event. Like, this is staged. It can't be real. This is so unbelievable. It can't be real. But when I realized that it was a real thing, as I was getting together, because I wasn't watching when it happened, these pictures started coming out within a couple of minutes, is when I saw Denzel and Tyler Perry, more Denzel than anything else, be over there with Will, trying to get him back within himself.
And is it kind of messed up they didn't try to go console Chris Rock? He the one that got popped.
I mean, Will was the one that went up and did the assault, though. It's time to go talk to Will first. Somebody else can talk to Chris Rock. The producers and them can talk to Chris Rock. Somebody had to go get Will. Here's the thing. In a fight, don't ever grab the guy that just got hit. Grab the guy
the aggressor.
Throwing the punches. Yeah. So they brought in Denzel because Denzel got the force field around him. You know what I'm saying? He probably got the biggest G-Pass in Hollywood right now. So he had to step up and give a speech for the culture and let them know, hey, brother, you got to pull within yourself. But I was listening to a podcast earlier today. It was on Bill Simmons' podcast.
I listened to it too. Yeah. It's interesting to get the other side of the game on it.
Well, and them saying that Denzel is basically, I don't know if I read this or if I'd heard it, but Denzel basically saying that sometimes you'll have the evil that will come in your life right before your biggest moments.
Will Smith said that.
No. He was told that.
No, but Will Smith. No, I'm talking about Denzel told Will Smith that. He said it in his speech.
That's what I'm saying. Like Denzel told him that, like just to try to bring him into that perspective. And that's OG. That's like sage OG advice. Like that's what you got to have right there. But it's man, I don't know, man. The situation itself.
I know you can go to your thoughts, but question to lead into your thoughts.
Yeah.
Do you think that this, I want to say, taints Will Smith's legacy, but does it flip it? Okay, I got it. I got the scenario for you. Here you go. Is this Will Smith's tip drill via Nelly? Does that make sense? Where I'm going with that? Remember, Nelly had lost the hood for a minute. Tip drill turned it all the way back around, but he lost the mainstream.
It's tip drill for him if he brings out a whole if this is who he is now, and I don't think that this is who he is.
But no, remember, Will Smith. Nelly lost that deal going on with Spelman with trying to get bone marrow for his sister because of the credit card down the cheeks thing. That's what I'm saying. Is that going to be like the, you know, the back end thing of like where the hood love you, but you lost kind of everything else?
Yeah,
you know,
it's
Smith's Teflon, but I'm just bringing that up as a scenario.
yeah. So I think that, nah, man, I think it's going to be a quick pivot because it's such a wild situation. Like Will knew so quickly that it was the wrong thing to do, that there's no, it's not going to marinate any longer than that. So I mean, I think that it's going to be a complete. I don't think we got anything to compare this to. So it's
because the hood is loving Will Smith right now.
Are they?
Yeah.
I feel like there's some love, but then there's also some there's a lot of conflict about this. Let me put a pin in that, because speaking of conflict, let's bring commentary in, man, because that's literally audio conflict defined right there. So hey, let's take a break real quick. Bring on commentary, and then we'll keep on chopping it up from here.
All right.